If you're curious like me, I'm sure at one point in your life you have thought, why do some people get married very early on in their lives and others get married very late in their lives? Do people pick and choose and say, this is the person that I'm going to marry, and they actually get to marry that person? Or does it happen by coincidence? Have you ever wondered? I mean, I'm really serious. If it's a topic that interests you, well, today's video is for you. My name is Esther Madira Johnson. On my channel, I talk about life, lessons, and skills. In today's video, I'm just going to sit here and chat with you guys over my experience about growing older unmarried and yet fulfilled. I know those two probably, according to society, they shouldn't be going in the same sentence, but that's my story and I'm going to share it today. So, but seriously, think about it. Have you heard of people say, oh, when I saw this girl, I knew from the start she was the mother of my children? Or somebody will say, when I saw him, I knew he was the guy I'm going to marry. And they've been married for, I don't know, 100 years. And yet for some people, they see that person that they want to marry and they know it in their hearts that this is the father of my children. But the father disappears. The father doesn't stick around, doesn't become the father. Or that woman, the girl that you think, this is my girl, this is the one, then they end up not being the one. How does that work for different people? I mean, how do others know it and it happens? And others see it and know it and it doesn't happen? Well, I didn't get married at 25. I didn't get married at 35. Not even at 45. I got married at 47. And you know, the funny thing with that is people assume that when you go for that long without, especially for women, without a man, then your life was miserable. Maybe for others, but here is my story. I come from a big family. For those of you who know us, I come from a very big family. We are 9 in our family and the first 6 are girls. So growing up, we are still very tight, although, you know, with migration and everything happening in the world. So we still stay tight as we can from our different geographic locations. But my parents got married in the 60s, I think late 60s, 68, 69, thereabouts. And they've been married ever since, you know. So you grow up seeing that. And then my older sisters, I'm third, they got married. I was still fairly, not too young, but like my first sister, the eldest in my family, I even remember her dress, the way she looked so pretty, she looked so beautiful. And my Bamkuro was so excited. I mean, you could tell the chemistry. And I was just like, wow, you know, because that's what you are taught. Because I grew up in a Christian family. We went to church every Saturday. Every Sabbath we were in church. So when my sister, my second sister, second born, when she got married, naturally, I believed I was next in line, you know. So when I met my son's father, it was like, yeah, that's the next thing that is going to happen naturally, But it didn't happen like that. That was the plan, but the plan didn't come out like that. You see, I knew in my heart, because I dated this guy for a very long time, 5 years, and I knew this is my person. Remember my history with my parents. They'd been married for so long, and I saw my sisters get married, and I thought, I'm next. And I see this guy, we've been together for so long. What can possibly go wrong? So when I got pregnant, I was 21. That's when everything changed. My whole situation totally changed from the way things had been moving along for my sisters. I became single. When you're 21, you don't have a child and you're single, people don't look at you as a single person. They look at you as somebody who is going to find somebody and they're going to get married. But in my case, I became single. I became labeled a single person because I was now a single parent. That rocked my family's world. It rocked my world because that's not what I was expecting, Remember what I said in the beginning. I had found my person and I knew this was the person. He was going to be the father of my children. I knew it, but it didn't happen like that. So obviously, like I said, it rocked my family's world, especially my parents, because they hold positions in church, and that was definitely something very difficult for them, because every parent, you don't want that for your child to be left in that situation. But for me, it was very confusing because it had never happened in my family. We had heard, of other people, and the way society makes you believe situations like that is like that person has done something terrible, like they're a very bad person. So when I experienced it, I was a little bit confused, because maybe the only thing I did wrong was to trust this guy to a point where I got pregnant. But I wasn't seeing like multiple people, or I was just seeing this guy that I knew this was my person. This was going to be the father of my children, and he was the father of my child, But at that age, you are just so confused. You don't know what's going to happen. And I wasn't working. But boy, I know my parents, it was tough for them because they had done everything right. I'm sure parents listening to this, you know this. You've done everything right, but mistakes happen. Your kids will make mistakes. Yes, some will be naughty, but some will be trusting whatever they'll be thinking is right, or trusting somebody else, and it just doesn't work out the way that you want. But mostly, I think we should just listen, because I think God will be trying to speak to us or protect us when He lets certain things happen in our lives. And sometimes he will be preparing us for something else totally different. But anyway, that's what happened to me. And yeah, it rocked my family's world, but it rocked my world. It rocked my world. Remember, I was 21, and this was the only guy that I had known. That's why maybe I thought he was my person. But you grow up fast. Suddenly I was mother, I was father, I was protector, I was everything. I had to grow up fast. So my parents got mad. They got really mad for a while until they realized that, listen, this is the situation and we need to move on. For me, because I grew up in the church, it took me time. It took me a very long time to go back to church because I knew this was this was a no-no, even in society. I remember there was a time I started becoming social later when I started working, but during that time, you are like an outcast. People look at you weird, they look at you different, and you are also thinking of all those things you used to hear about other people who had been in that situation. And then that's when you quickly realize that people say what they don't know. Because the things that I would hear about myself were further from the truth. Like, you would just say to yourself, what? People have no clue. And yet they can actually stand there and talk about you like they have first-hand information. People, let's stop doing this. Seriously, because it hurts people and it affects some people for the rest of their lives. Somebody is going through something, somebody is hurting, and you're busy spreading false information about them. It's not right, people, honestly. It's not right. And we have done it. I think that's just human nature. I remember when HIV came out, if people just saw you with hair, oh my gosh, you were labeled. But they didn't even know how that person would have contracted the virus. Same thing with being a single parent. I don't know if it's the same for single fathers. If there's a single father listening, please drop a comment in the comment section. Just let me know of your experience, or if you can come on this channel and just tell us your experiences. I'm going to try and have a couple of women to tell us their experiences as well, because I think this is a very important topic, because people don't know what people go through, and yet they still talk about them like they know. But anyway, so for me, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. That's not what I had envisioned. That it wasn't even the dream that I had. But my wanting to get married, yeah, I've always wanted a fairy tale. Same way as I had seen my older sisters getting married, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. But it quickly shifted when I got pregnant. Now I wanted to get married for my son. Well, my unborn child then. Because I wanted him to grow up the way I did, with a father, a mother, siblings. I mean, we used to have so much fun. As siblings, you fight, but that's what a family is about. You fight, next minute you're laughing, you're crying, you're running, you're hurting each other. I wanted that for my son. So I started wanting to get married. Like, if he had come back during that time, I would have married him. If he had come and apologized and said, hey, I just got scared, I would have married him, because I wanted that for my son. But I thank God he didn't. Because I wouldn't be sitting here today. So what happened to me after I gave birth? My mother, she had to go to Zambia back then. That was in the 90s. For those of you in Zimbabwe, you know Mabero Mazitke. Back in the 90s, my mom was one of the few people who started going to Zambia and bringing in second-hand clothes, just to help me raise my son. And I went and did a secretarial course at Spaces College, just something quick so that I could get a job quickly and start supporting my child. Thankfully, I got a job in the bank. Things started looking really good. And I think for me, what really helped me, and not dwell on, this, not an issue, because at the end of the day, God gave me such a beautiful gift. I mean, my son has been the most beautiful thing that happened to me in my 46 years before marriage, because I got married at 47. And like I said, when you're 21, 22, 23, 24, people don't really look at you as single. But I became single at 21. And I wasn't looking, and I was no more thinking of marriage, because now I got busy taking care of my son, working, and I worked hard. I worked really hard. So at around, I think I was 26 when I bought my first house, my first apartment at Shingai Court. Then I bought my first car. I think it was, I don't remember which one I got first. Was it a Mazda 626 or a Toyota Corolla? One of the two. People think when you're single, you're miserable. I wasn't miserable. Yes, I struggled like everybody else, the ups and downs. Like when I lost my job in the bank, when I got laid off, I think I was around 32. But that's after I had bought my second property. Well, I had upgraded. I had sold the one-bed apartment and I bought a 2-bed. I wasn't miserable. I was living life to the fullest. I was doing things with my family. I was doing things with my son. I was living my life. I was living my life to the fullest. And we had so many brides, so many get-togethers. So I never sat there and felt like I was 32 years and I wasn't married. No. Sometimes when I go like to a wedding, I see some people getting married, and then I'll just be like, okay, well, I guess this is not for me. And I did try dating, but I always met people. I don't blame them, but I was just meeting people who were probably looking for something totally different from what I was looking for. So it never really worked. But people should stop assuming that when you're growing older and married, you are miserable. No. And this thing of calling each other names when we don't have half the story, I just think it is so wrong. It is so wrong. That made me stay away from church, like I said in the beginning, that I stayed away. And yet in church, that's where you're supposed to go. That's where sinners go. Holy people don't need to go to church. Sinners go to church to get saved. So if we chase people because they have made a mistake, I don't think that's a good thing. But I felt like that. So for some time, I stopped going to church. I only started going to church, I think my son was like 5 or so. He was older. Yeah, but it happens. And even in families, guys, unless we know the real story, let's not judge people. And in Shona, we say, Sekaurema waf. if you're going to have children, or even yourself, if you're still young and you're not married, even if you're married, your marriage can end. Let's not look at each other with, I don't know how I can say, let's not judge each other, because we don't know. And you don't know what God is preparing that person for, you know. For me, I'm very thankful, because sometimes I look back and I'm like, if I had been married to any of those people that I came across in my life, ooh, I would have been stuck somewhere where I don't want to be. I'm not saying they're bad people. They are good for those other people, but not for me. They were not meant for me, you know. And I thank God. I really thank God that I got married at the age that I got married at. Because even in my 40s, in my early 40s, yeah, some can say I had accepted my fate. Because, you know, like I was saying, when you're in your 21s, people will be like, no, they're going to they will get married. They're still probably dating and what. And then when you're 28, people start asking, okay, when are we going to meet your friend? And then in your 30s, now they start pushing you towards people. In your 40s, they stop asking. Now they'll be like, this one, it's never going to happen. So I was at that stage where I think everybody was like, this one is done. Nothing is going to happen. God will be having his own plans for us. And I've noticed if we try to do it by ourselves, that's when we run into problems. That's when we meet, you can actually force and get married to somebody, and then you'll be miserable for the rest of your life. So honestly, I would rather be single than to be broken. To be known as Mrs. Someone, but you are so miserable, you're not happy. That's, for me, honestly. And like I said, I was okay in my singleness. With my singleness, I was fine, because I think for a person to be ready for marriage, if I can say it like that, you yourself as an individual, you need to be whole. Don't sit there and say you are incomplete. You're waiting for somebody to complete you. And if that person doesn't come, you're going to be half for the rest of your life. You need to be a whole person by yourself. You need to be happy. You need to be able to enjoy life by yourself. So what are the benefits? Somebody asked me, was it beneficial for you to be single? Yes, it came with some benefits. Freedom. When you're single, you have a lot of freedom. You can just say, okay, I'm going on a trip. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you do it. You know, I am going to cut my hair bald. Oh, I'm wearing this today. I'm going to sleep over at my sister's. You can do whatever you want. I think when I made that, when I trusted my friend and lost that money, I honestly think if I was married, that would have been an argument that I would never have won. I mean, I'm sure we would have fought over that. But I dusted myself, got up, and found a way out, you know. So even raising kids, I think it would have been a little bit different, because we would have had maybe different parenting styles. I think there are more things that single people can do without having to worry. And it's also good. I mean, when you're married, it's good because even with that situation, maybe my husband would have said, oh honey, don't worry about it, we'll just we'll work through things, and we'll put our resources together and we'll sort this out, you know. So, but yeah, that's my story. I finally did get married. I finally found love. And I'm telling you, it's been good. It's been good. I think God had been preparing me for this. And 47 wasn't late. It wasn't early. It was the right time. It was God's time. So if you're still young and searching, young at 40, young at 50, it's fine. It's okay. What I can only say is don't sit around and mop over it. Live your life. Live your life, because what if it doesn't happen? You know, because we have different blessings, because God has different paths for us. Remember, even Paul in the Bible, he wasn't married. So sometimes that's your destiny. So if you sit and wait for that somebody to come, they might not come. Live your life to the fullest. Be happy. Enjoy every moment of your life. Live life to the fullest. Like that was the last day, you know. When it happens, it happens. And if you are happy by yourself, with yourself, you will be happy in your marriage. So guys, let me know what you think about this content. Seriously, let me know in the comments, because I want to give you guys content that you enjoy. So yeah, guys, if you like this video, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. That will help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until the next one, bye.